All right, Rippers, guess what time it is? It's time for an earthquake. Ah! Anyway, no, just kidding. I just jiggled the table. Anyhow, it is time for Scrounging for Preps and the Hunt for Ammo. I kind of had to combine them both, and I'm a little bit late because some of you may know, and for those of you who don't, my son had himself a appendicitis. So he had to get an appendectomy. Huh? Good words, huh? Yeah, that's right. Anyway, he got into the ER. They did their tests and did a little CT. Said, got to come out. Got to come out. So it came out. Was in the hospital for a little while. Now he's at home, taking care of him. And that is something we all need to remember. Family is first, right? You got to take care of family, friends, right? And make sure that they're okay. You got to make the time for them. But other than that, I was just sitting here for a minute, wanted to catch up on my videos because a lot of you said you've been missing me. And you know what? To be honest, I've been missing you. And well, I've been sitting here making some more of these covers for my buckets, right, to shield them from the sun, because the sun is darn right nasty these days. That's something you should check out on Wages World, man. Check out Wages World channel. Mark, my buddy there, he'll tell you all about the sun, what's true, what's not true, whether you got to worry or not worry. And he was just on Marfugal TV too, so that there was a good episode too. Catch that one. And my buddy Adam and Dex there too. Anyway, enough of that. They're doing the shout outs for a minute. Want to talk to you guys. One, because I wasn't able to get out and do the hunt for ammo, I didn't actually get any. And that's okay, because I got to watch my budget too, because I had some expenditures that I made and then some expensive things that broke, as you guys well know, that I wasn't expecting. So we all got to tighten our belts at times and get through the hurdles that come our way. But that's okay, because we can do it, especially if you prepare. Because if you prepare, well, you're ready for anything, right? And it makes it less painful. That's something to remember, and it's something to really think about, right? We all need right now to not be worrying as much as we need to be getting ready, right? Living like our great-great-grandparents did. You know, they lived that way for a reason. One, they've been through a depression, right? So they knew the value of anything and how to use it to its fullest extent. Tin cans, paper, anything that they think they could use. Scrap this, scrap that. Growing your own food, right? Stockpiling ammo, food, gear, supplies. Things like wax and candles and all the stuff you need for canning and doing canning, right? Setting food back for long term, right? Learning how to take food and put it away without the use of a refrigerator that'll help it keep longer, right? All those kind of things are things we need to start thinking about, because what does it hurt to be prepared, right? It actually makes worry less, right? That's a good thing. And I think we all need to be doing it. Another thing we all need to be doing is we need to stop sweating the little things, right? We need to all be coming together, right? I got to tell you a story real quick. While I was out doing scrounging for preps and ammo, even though I didn't go get any ammo, I will say I did my homework. But while I was out scrounging for preps and getting my son's prescriptions, to help him get through his recovery, I couldn't believe what I saw. I was at a stop sign and there was a line of cars in front of me, right? And there was a guy on the curb that was sitting there hanging kind of half out of his little scooter chair, the kinds you use that are walkers, with a little handle. I know, it looks like I know what they are and I have one, but not yet, so cut it out, right? Anyway, he had one of those with the little wheels on it, and he used it to scooch with his feet, but he had to scooch backwards, right? Dangerous. Well, he had slipped off the curb, and he was half hanging in and half hanging out, and his cane was on the ground on the back side of him, and people were just actually stopping at the stop sign where he was, looking at him or not looking at him, and just driving on. Now, I'm not telling you this for any self-gratification, because that's just something I don't do. But I'm telling you because I want you to be aware that we need to not do these kind of things. Shame on the people that drove by. And I'm saying it was more than one, it was more than two, it was more like four, right? Until I got up to the stoplight, or the stop sign, I should say, because it was in the parking lot. And I stopped, put my hazards on, and I went out there and got my arm under that guy and got him squared away and found him some help, the person that was with him. And you know what? Even while I was doing that, only one person in the cars that I held up came to ask me if I needed any help. And you guys all know my health isn't as good as it was, so it didn't necessarily feel good, and I sure appreciated the offer of help, but I pretty much had it by then. And that's something I think we all should be looking out for, right? How dare we not pay attention to somebody in need and not reach out to help them because we're too busy, in a hurry, on the phone, or just flat don't want to, right? That's just not acceptable. We need to stop that. We need to start thinking of each other. And while we're doing that, we need to start coming together, right? And we need to start finding compromise, right? Ways to understand each other and help each other and come together as a group to make change rather than allow the people that are trying to do it to divide us, right? We've got to stop the division. We don't have to agree to like each other. Hell, I like all of you, and I certainly don't agree with all of you, but I do love and care about every single one of you. So that's something that we need to remember and put in our little banks here, right? So, like I said, review here. We need to take care of family, spend time with family, right? As well as our responsibilities. We need to be more proactive and self-sufficient, right? Living lifestyles of less waste and more putting away stuff for a rainy day or hard times, right? And we need to be looking out to help one another, right? Okay? Because we can. And if we do, I promise you, if we come together and people that are trying to divide us see that we're not going to fall for the racism they're trying to start up, the cancel culture, censorship, left, right, all that garbage, right? That's all designed to keep us from liking each other, because they know if we like each other, well, they're in trouble. And isn't that the goal? We want them to work for us, and they're not about to do that if we don't come together and like each other. When they start seeing that, you're going to see them start sweating. And that's when change happens, right? Right. Even the people on the left should be able to see that some of the things that are being done just don't make any sense. What? Not be able to slaughter and raise food because it's cruel to animals, right? Or it's bad for methane gas and eat things out of laboratories, right? Put stuff in our bodies that aren't good for us, right? All of these things aren't in our best interest. What's in our best interest is each other, right? Coming together and finding good common sense ways to work through things, right? Just because I like guns and you don't, doesn't mean we can't like each other and still find a common ground in the middle and have fun. Because I tell you what, most people who don't like guns that I take out shooting have a damn good time. And even if they won't buy one and don't necessarily care for them, they sure are thankful that I took the time to educate them and show them a good time, right? And that breaks down barriers. And that's what we need to do, right? Because when barriers are broken down and we like each other, well, people won't want to burn stuff down. They won't want to hurt each other. They won't want to steal and lie and cheat, right? And the ones that do will stand out like a sore thumb and will know where our targets are. Isn't that right? That's right. So, that being said, let's be sure to do that. If you see somebody in need, or even if they're not in need, let's say they're just coming up to the door. Since when did we forget that opening the door and asking somebody to come right on in, have you had a good day? Right? Where did that go? And how about the answer back? Thank you for asking. I'm doing great. How are you? Right? We need to start doing more of that, right? And we need to start doing this. Less and more. You get it? I'm saying more listening. Because sometimes we may see that we ourselves, even though we think we're right, have a bias and maybe don't have the right information and can gain a better insight through somebody else's ideas. And that is the first step to compromise, right? Right. Then respect, right? kindness, empathy, right? All those kind of words that help build what we call community, right? From there, when we're all together as a community, being proactive will get attention. I promise you that. It will also make things better and it'll cause change. So let's be sure to do that. Now, hunt for ammo. It was a little scary this weekend, right? This last weekend, because places like Field and Stream, right? Big R, Coastal, right? And what was the other one? Bi-Mart didn't get their orders at all, right? Another thing, my son started shooting his skeet and trap, and they're having a hard time getting ammo. In fact, they're having to just basically, you see it, you buy it, and they're having to shoot whatever they can. And that's not easy on the shoulder when you're not able to get target loads. And they even are able to buy factory direct, and they still have had orders placed for months, knowing that the season was coming, and still haven't gotten in the queue for delivery yet. What does that tell you? That's right. That tells you we've still got a problem and we've still got a shortage, right? Now, I'm not saying what the shortage is caused from, because honestly, it's a combination of everything you heard, right? Whatever you hear out there, the reason for the shortage is, well, that's 20% of the problem. And altogether, they equal 150%. That's how bad it is. Now, that being said, I did call Sportsman's, and they did get their Saturday order, but they said it was much smaller than they've seen. And none of it lasted till the second day. That's a big change. So be aware of that. Also, be aware of the fact that they're trying to do away with getting ammo online as well as guns. We need to speak up about that and say, no, you're not going to vote that way if you want me to vote for you again. Do you understand? Right. I knew you would. Let me take a sip of my coffee here. Ooh, that's good stuff. Now, as far as scrounging for preps, this week, $5 minimum, took in some of my cans, right? And got some gas money, and instead of putting it in my tank, I went ahead and got something. So, check this out. Something we all need to have. There's a lot of talk out there these days about CMEs or possible EMPs, those kind of things, right? So if power does go out, do you have a way to cook? And let's say there's a run on gas and that kind of stuff. How are you going to cook? Well, you're going to have to get a fire pit, right? Or make one in your backyard just out of some rocks and some sand and a flat area, right? And you're going to need something to cook on. So I thought this would be the perfect scrounging for prep for this week, right? Is a grill. Got this at Wally World, of course, because I know Wally World, it's just inexpensive. And on a budget, you got to do it. So that being said, it's nice and simple. It was 20 bucks, folds out like that, right? Now you build your fire underneath here, right? And then you can cook on it. Now, the first few times, I'd cook with a pan. The reason why, you want to cook off this coating, whether or not it's paint or powder coat or whatever it is. You want to kind of season this, right? Get it all burnt away or whatnot before you just go throwing meat on there, because you never know what's in this paint. You don't want it in your meat. Might not even taste good. So use a pan the first few times, or just burn it off on a fire and let it cool once, right? And then wash it up. But something like this is a great thing. You can adjust the height a little bit, right? It's simple. It's not super big, and it's something that if the power does go out, if you lose gas, if your stove doesn't work that you have put away, well, you can go back to the beginning. That's right, starting a fire. And if you haven't seen how to start a fire, go check out Survival Living, because he showed you how to start a fire. And tell him hello from the Rippers, right? Right, we want to tell these people, we know you, we see you, and we're here to support you. And come support us, right? That's right. Now, that does it for this week. This weekend, I should be able to get them out on time. The garden is looking wonderful. It's behind you. You can't see it because I'm going to surprise you with what's going on. And it's good stuff, let me tell you what. And think about the things I said in the beginning. If you have any comments you want to put them in the comment section. And I'm glad that you missed me because I missed you. And I'm sorry that I had to have you wait. But in the future, if you ever do have to wait for a video, or I have something spring up that I have to run off and take care of family or anything like that, go check out my past ones. You may not have seen some of the early ones, and go get caught up on them, right? Because they're just as good as these ones, probably better, right? But, and another positive thing, getting prepper fit, baby. I've lost 6 pounds. That's right. That's right. Get with it. We all need to be doing things like that, right? And it doesn't have to be a lot. Every little bit helps. Just getting out and doing a garden lost me 6 pounds, right? Yeah, I hurt and I ache a little bit, but that's okay. I'm old. So get out there, do something, right? And share it with your family, right? Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that little bell. Know that I appreciate and care about you all. And until next time, adios.